Yo, what's up with you guys? And my name is Kamal, and I'm about to tell you about the story about how my brother almost died. Almost saw my brother die in my arms. So I'm gonna start this off real quick. Make sure you like and subscribe. It would really show appreciation. You know what I'm saying? And it was crazy, but let me get into this. So basically, um, I wake up and I had to get laundry. My mom woke me up. Simple stuff like that. And I go to my girlfriend's house, and she's a very nice girl. Made me some food and everything. You know what I'm saying? Go over there, made me a chicken sandwich, banana smoothie, all this, bro. And skip past all that. I'm walking up my stairs to the to my house because it's a little walkway that you have to go to get to your place. And I see my brother laid out on the ground, just laid completely out. He's just out of it. And I was on the phone with my girlfriend at the time, and I'm just like, hold on, I'll talk to you later. And I just hang up the phone. And I woke up to him, and he's just laying there on the ground, eyes rolling to the back of his head. And I'm just fucking stoked. Like, I'm in shock. Like, that's not even the correct word. Stoked. I was just, it's really hard to explain, but I was just like, what the fuck? So I first go to him and I pick his head up. I always like seeing a lot of videos and documentaries of shit about how you're supposed to pick the person's head up or lay them on their side, you know what I'm saying? So like, I think it's for circulation of breathing. I don't know exactly, but I just knew that that's what you're supposed to do. Like even in school, like it'll be these little ass signs that like tell you like, pick up the person's head or do this, and all these gestures, you know what I'm saying? You know how in school they'll have like go to the bathroom, just they'll have these emergency signs. So that's how I knew for real to pick up his head. And I just knew off logical reasoning. I pick up his head and his eyes are rolling to the back of his head, and I'm just like, I'm not even gonna cap, like I was definitely scared. I was really scared. And it wasn't scared as screaming. It was scared as in worried, just frightened. Like, this could really be the last time I see my brother. I'm holding him in my hands, and this could be the last time I ever see this dude. So, basically, what I do after picking up his head and making sure he has circulation, I'm screaming for my mom's name. Like, I'm screaming, and she wasn't there. She had went across the street for laundry, and unfortunately her phone was dead. Her phone was dead out of all moments. Her phone is always on, but today her phone decided to die. So I'm panicking, and he finally gets responsive, even a little bit, and I help him up, and he's just out of it. He's like a brain dead zombie. And that just brought me so much relief. And I help him get up, and I bring him into the house, and I lay him on the sofa to sit him down so he can relax. And he was so hard-headed. He kept on trying to get up. He kept on making those sounds, and he wasn't responsive enough. He was just a walking zombie. So after I sit him down, I go outside to contemplate what is the best strategic idea to do. What should I do? Should I call the ambulance? Should I call a close family member? What should I do? And I make the decision of calling my grandma. My grandma is a very great person. She just gives me ideas, and she knows how to work in very strict high situations. So after pondering, I go back in there, and I'm just like, I just see him laid out on the sofa, and I'm trying to go back in there, make sure, because I also looked up really quickly. You have to make sure they're awake. You have to make sure they're responding. You have to make sure that they're awake, and they're doing this over and over again. And I just break down, and I'm just holding him because he's just so unresponsive, and I'm just crying tears, holding him, begging him to breathe. just begging him to breathe. And I'm just saying, no, not right now, not today. That is what I am begging him as I am crying my eyes out. I'm begging him, no, not right now, not today, not today. And after a couple of minutes of me thinking he's gone or just like he's not breathing, he finally wakes up, and it just gives me this relief, and I just snap back into work mode, into what are the strategic ways that I can help him the quickest. And I just had my little mini panic moment, and I got myself right back together, and I got up and I went back outside after, before I pondered and went back inside. I went outside after that moment of panic I had, and I called my grandma. I recollected and regathered myself together, and me and my grandma, we were talking, and I was telling her, I gave her a rundown of the situation of what was happening, what was going on. And she told me, go in there, and she started talking to my brother to make sure he was responsive, and that was really helping. She also told me get some milk. On top of that, I forgot to mention, before I had took him in the house and put him on the sofa, the neighbor was also worried. So I don't know how long he was out on that ground, how long he was out on that concrete, that ground, and she offered a water bottle, and that really helped, and she didn't know what to do. And she just gave me it, and I just said, I will handle it. And that was before we went into putting him on the sofa. So, back to what I was saying, talking about what me and my grandma were talking about. She was telling me, get some milk. And I gave him the phone. Luckily, he was responding enough to get the phone. He heard our grandma's voice, and he started responding. He started talking, and I was just happy. I wasn't exactly happy. I wouldn't say that. That's a little too exaggerated. But I was calm. I was in a calm state. I was in a calm state of mind, knowing that he's being responsive, knowing that he has life in his eyes, and he's not passing out, and his eyes are not rolling to the back of his head. And that is just something that I was dealing with, So after that talk, me and my grandma are thinking of ways. Who should we call first? You may think, oh, call the ambulance, do this. I didn't want to take it that far because I didn't want that to be the first exact option. You may be thinking, oh, you're stupid. You should have called the ambulance first. You should have did this. You did this. I just thought of every way before calling them first because I didn't want to make it a big problem. And you may be saying, this is a big problem. Basically, what I am trying to say was I was looking for multiple ways for them to not be my first option of just everything and just break down, because I wanted to at least what is it called? I wanted to at least have like family members here and everything and stuff instead of just calling the ambulance and the police. Cause look, and you may be like, why didn't you call them? I'm only 15. And as a young black male, I get nervous, as in, police, just anything involving calling 911. That's never been a part of my mindset. Call them first. As you see on social media, a lot of shootings, a lot of stuff with cops involving black young kids. It definitely comes to mind, and I want you guys to think about that, because I've never, ever in my entire life, I've never called them before. So before you judge me and be like, why didn't you call them? That was a problem that I was facing too. So getting back to me and my grandma pondering, she comes up with this idea after the milk idea, that after she said, after talking to my brother and getting him to be more responsive and alive, and she was talking about giving him milk, asked the neighbor he wasn't even accepting the water that the neighbor had gave us, because she had offered water before I had took him onto the sofa. And he's just knocking away. He's like, no, 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 just slobbering over his words, just not accepting it. And it was no way I was going to force him down. You know, he's a pretty strong man, and he was responsive enough to know what he didn't want and what he did, and he wasn't accepting the help. So my grandma was like, who should we call? Who should we call? Who should we call? And she wasn't like that. She wasn't like that. Let me rephrase it. She was like, who should we call first? I don't know who to call first. And I was like, I thought of the closest people towards me that are trustworthy people, trustworthy family members. And I thought of my uncle and my auntie. They live right near us. So they come, and they have no idea about his problem, about his addiction. And they're just like, damn. And they help. They get him up, and they get him talking. They get him, like, it was working. It was working. Stuff was going down. It was going right. It was getting better. And they're talking to him, and he's talking. He's up. He's being responsive. And that's what we needed here. We needed him to just be responsive and alive and awake. So after that, my mom, after 20 minutes of, actually not 20 minutes, I say about 10 to 15 minutes of my uncle and my auntie getting there, my mom finally comes back. And she comes to the window, because that's usually where we hand off groceries. And she's like, take these groceries. And I'm like, I can't. It's a big situation going on. Your phone wasn't ringing, and I had to think of someone really quick. And I thought of my grandma, and my uncle, my auntie came over, because they're different sides of family. So she's like, oh my God. And she comes around, and she just comes into this hellhole. Imagine you're a single mother, parent. All you do is go away for maybe 20 minutes, and you come back, not even 20 minutes, way longer than 20 minutes, my fault. And you just come back to this hellhole. And she gets there, and he's finally standing out front, because he decided to get up. My brother, he decided to get up, and my aunt and my uncle talking, get him to say, they're questioning him. My grandma was also questioning him when they were on the phone, and they were like, what did you take? He was like, drugs and pills, alcohol and pills. And she was like, which one? And he said both. This is a huge problem. He needs serious help. So we, after the talk of him being outside, they're all outside chatting. My mom, my uncle, my auntie, and my brother, they're all outside chatting, and they're getting down to the situation. And he's just like responding the best he could in his circumstance. And they're just talking, and a lot of stuff was going on. So 20 minutes, 30 minutes, maybe 30 to 40 minutes passes by, and when they had went outside, I just stayed in the crib. I got washed just to refresh myself. And you know what I'm saying, after a while they come back in. My uncle and auntie leave, and he's laying down. So a little bit goes by, and my mom calls the ambulance on him. She gives them the rundown. Well, I don't know exactly what she said, but she gives them the rundown. They come by, and what is it called? They say they all just came in. Police officer with the flashlight, you know what I'm saying? People with white gloves, the blue surgeon gloves, come in, flashlight, this and that, and they're asking him, they're questioning them, and they even say, they cuff my brother, and they give him the Narcan to make sure he doesn't go crazy, because they said sometimes they go crazy. So I come in, and they tell me to come here, and they're questioning me about everything. They're questioning me, do you know what drugs he took? Has he took any drugs in front of you? And I'm just replying, and I'm just keeping it simple. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real trill, nothing crazy. And I'm not going to lie, I was low-key panicking, not visibly, but inside. But, you know what I'm saying? They then take him away. My mom tried to 302 him because he's been 302'd. I think that's what it's called. They lock you in the psych ward, but you know what I'm saying? That was the quick rundown. This gameplay footage is about to run out, so I had to sum it up at the end really quickly. You know what I'm saying? But this was my first edited video. But really thank you guys. Make sure you like and subscribe, man. This was really, I say, traumatic. It was really traumatic, you know. But I got through it, thought really hard, and I survived through it. And that means I can survive another day and be stronger. So I want to let you guys know that if you're having a problem, strive through it, become stronger. It makes you stronger at the end of the day. It makes you think harder. So I want you guys to like and subscribe. Peace out. Thank you guys. This was a serious video, kind of said, you know what I'm saying, but peace out. Bless y'all souls, man. Be safe.